Go Dodgers, and you can see behind me, there's Dodger Stadium, the place where all the magic happened. We are so proud of them, and yes, it was a perfect night, and you guys, this continues going into the weekend. Let's take a look at our high temperatures today. I'm showing you this because this is what your Saturday is going to feel like. In some spots, even a little bit warmer than this. 82 in downtown Los Angeles, 82 in San Bernardino. Let's walk you through your Saturday. Waking up first thing tomorrow morning, it is going to be a little bit chilly out there. Let me break it down for you. We've got temperatures starting off in the 50s in Fullerton. Sunshine start to finish. We get to the lunch hour. We're now in the mid 70s and then lower 80s in Fullerton for the second half of the day. And if you're out and about for your Saturday evening, we'll only drop down to the low 70s by 8 o'clock Saturday. Beautiful day, start to finish. Highs tomorrow, 80s for Los Angeles and Orange counties, close to 90 in the valleys. Coming up, we'll talk about how long this warmth sticks around, and we're going to get you ready for Taste of Seoul tomorrow. I've got a special forecast for you, Juan.
What a nice warm up. All right, Danny, thank you very much. A former LAPD officer under arrest facing murder charges. Clifford Proctor was taken into custody at LAX after a year on the lam. He's accused of killing a homeless man in Venice. CBS LA's Zach Boetto joins us tonight with the story that's been playing out for a decade now. Zach.
Yeah, 10 years, Juan, and this is one of several LAPD shootings that led to public protests back in 2016. This family attorney has been on this case since this all happened over 10 years ago, and we've been covering the case just as long. He says sometimes there's a saying, justice delayed is justice denied, but hopes this case can be different.
Images seared into the memory of anyone who lived in Venice a decade ago. Former LAPD officer Clifford Proctor wrestling with and then shooting Brendan Glenn in the back twice. Glenn unarmed and homeless. Tonight, Proctor is under arrest after years on the run.
Well, I know the family now has hope.
James DeSimone has represented the victim's family since Proctor shot their loved one in 2015.
The hurt still continues. It'll never go away for him.
LAPD arrested Proctor at LAX Thursday on murder charges filed by former District Attorney George Gascon last year. Gascon's decision went against a 2018 decision by then District Attorney Jackie Lacey to not file charges against the former officer, who's been a free man since. Lacey explained her decision back then.
If you look very closely at the video, it appears that the officers were losing control of him. So in that situation, where you have guns readily available to a struggling suspect who is under the influence, belligerent, it is not unreasonable. It's not much of a leap to realize that the officer shot him because he believes that there was some threat of danger or harm.
The LAPD chief at the time, Charlie Beck, disagreed with Lacey and recommended charges be filed against the officer Proctor.
He unreasonably believed that his life was in danger and therefore he took a life.
So will current DA Nathan Hochman prosecute the case? We asked a retired 30-year LAPD detective for his take.
They're going to have to look at this case all over again, even though, he was arrested based on a current and active arrest warrant.
The DA's office tells us it is aware of former Officer Proctor's arrest, but it's unable to comment. He's now in jail on a $2 million bail. His next court date has not yet been set. Juan?
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Now to this, citing fire risk, the city of Malibu reportedly wants to arrest homeless people who refuse to stop camping illegally. According to the LA Times, Malibu declared a state of emergency last month and directed the sheriff to remove homeless encampments and arrest people if they fail to leave. City officials say more than 30 fires are believed to have been started by the homeless since 2021. It's unclear if the sheriff will actually move in to arrest people because LA County has declared it won't criminalize homelessness. All right, tonight, stunning new details on what happened to almost $26 million in taxpayer money that was supposed to be used to build new housing for the homeless. CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite live in Thousand Oaks to show us what we've uncovered. Tom?
And good evening to you, Juan. So many people might remember earlier this week, the acting U.S. attorney announced charges in his ongoing audit and investigation of where taxpayer money is going in terms of the homeless crisis. Well, we've learned new details tonight that are pretty disturbing. In fact, this hotel is at the center of it. The guy that was supposed to spend about $20-something million on this motel to rehab it, to turn it into homeless housing, well, instead of using it for that, as you can see, it's still abandoned, he used it for private jet flights and for things like VIP tickets to Coachella. This shuttered, dilapidated motel in Thousand Oaks was supposed to be transformed into permanent housing for the homeless. It was part of Governor Newsom's signature program called Project Homekey, turning old motels across the state into supportive housing for the homeless. But this project, like many others, was never completed. So what happened? Where did the money go? U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli this week announced charges in connection with this project, claiming the funds were stolen.
Federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries. Our investigation has showed that at least $2.2 million was diverted to pay Mr. Holmes' American Express bill.
Stolen, the feds say, by Holmes to fund a lavish lifestyle. According to a civil complaint against Holmes, he spent $53,000 for VIP tickets to Coachella, $43,000 for a flight on a private jet, $111,000 on an Hermes crocodile bag, $5,000 monthly for a Ferrari Portofino lease, $35,000 on a diamond-encrusted Audemars Piguet watch. There were also payments for expensive properties in Beverly Hills, a student loan payment, and more. In all, his company received $26 million to rehab this motel, and it appears almost nothing was done.
Even though the developer received all the money from the state, the developer did not complete the construction.
Shangri-La got over $100 million in state contracts to convert 7 motels across California. Only 2 were ever completed. In 2024, Holmes' boss filed that civil lawsuit against him for defrauding the company, which is now in bankruptcy. Federal prosecutors say California spent $24 billion in tax money on the homeless crisis, and they are just beginning to audit the programs and promise more charges if they find more fraud.
The state asked for proof that the company had the financial capacity to build all the projects. In response, Holmes and Shangri-La knowingly submitted fake bank statements which claimed to show that the developer had about $160 million on deposit.
So pretty intense there. The allegations against Holmes could send him to prison for 20 years if he's convicted on these charges. Reporting live in Thousand Oaks, I'm Tom Waite, CBS LA.
All right, Tom, thank you. All right, to next weather now. What a great way to start the weekend. Of course, Dodgers headed to the World Series.
Yes, we're so proud.
Temperatures warming up. And a family festival tomorrow, of course, Taste of Soul. What a great weekend already.
I know, it's going to be so wonderful. And Juan and I are going to be out there.
That's
Susie's
right.
going to be out there, Pat, I mean, the whole team. And I mean, Juan, look at this, how beautiful it's going to be out there.
It's looking good.
I mean, not only do you have beautiful weather, you've got good food, you've got amazing people. I mean, what more do you want on a Saturday?
You have us out there.
Woo-woo.
The
It's
Taste
going
of
to be,
Soul.
it's going to be wonderful. So we're excited to see you all out there. And Juan, we're just going to keep this warm up going.
Let's keep it going.
Doesn't matter where you are. And this is good. Doesn't matter what you have on a Friday. It's good as we're going into the weekend. But this is just kind of the cherry on top. The reason for that warm up, it's all because of our offshore winds. So we saw it out there today. It was a pretty warm day out there. You felt it. And what makes it feel so warm, I feel like, is that it's shocking to the system. We were in the 60s earlier this week with the rain, the cold. And now we're talking 80s, offshore winds with us through tomorrow going into our weekend. And that's going to lead to this, another warm up. At least we're going to see temperatures warming up even more going into our Saturday. So Saturday feeling warmer than today. We've got some breezy offshore winds. And because of that, no morning clouds. That's going to push the clouds out of here. I like it when we get the clouds. It keeps it a bit cooler. But we have lots of beautiful sunshine to enjoy. And then we're going to start to feel a little bit cooler by next week. The weekend, though, that's not the case. Look at Los Angeles and Orange counties. We're talking lower 80s for Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny skies. And now when you see 83 degrees, look up right here, average high 79. Now we're talking highs slightly above average for this time of the year. Low temperatures tomorrow. A little bit chilly, just like the past couple of mornings. So we've got chilly mornings where you grab the jacket and then you're sweating once you get to the afternoon. So just be prepared to peel it on off. You've got 50s out there to start the day. Riverside, 50s at 7 o'clock. Before we get to lunch, we'll be in the mid 70s and then mid 80s once we get to the afternoon. especially for some of our inland communities. It's slightly warmer than today. 86 in San Bernardino. Look at Chino flirting with the 90s. 85 in Burbank. 70s for our beaches. San Clemente, Laguna Beach into Huntington. We're looking at those 70s out there. Let's go in depth on those temperatures. What I want to do right now is I want to pull up a map for you of the San Fernando Valley, and I want to talk about our high temperatures tomorrow. The heat is on, at least warmer for this time of the year. So we've got mid-80s in San Fernando, mid-80s for areas like Van Nuys and also for Burbank. Let's take a little stroll. Follow me. We're going to make our way into Ventura County. Chatsworth hitting 85 degrees. There's Santa Clarita over there. We've got 80s, 84 in West Hills, and then Simi Valley climbing into the mid-80s. We're talking 80s for Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, and also Agora Hills. Going into the weekend, we're looking at those 70s and 80s. We're warm out there, but cooling starts Monday. Onshore flow is back, and this is going to bring back the morning clouds. In the valleys, look, upper 80s for Saturday and Sunday, slightly cooler Monday, and by Wednesday, highs are going to be at about 10 degrees cooler than this upcoming weekend. And you can see in the Inland Empire, 80s over the weekend with 70s going into our Tuesday. So on, all looks good. All looks great going into the weekend.
It's looking, I was going to say that, not only good, it looks great. Danny, thanks. The fiscal crisis in Los Angeles County just got a lot worse. The pending settlement that could cost nearly $1 billion. And CBS LA cares. Share your concerns with us over coffee, and no topic is off the table. Your coffee is on us this Wednesday, October 22nd, from 7 to 10 a.m. over at Sunrise Grind in Corona. So come by for a free cup of coffee. Stay for the conversation. We will see you there. Of a Santa Barbara County girl believed missing for about a year, but still authorities don't know where she is, and her mother is not cooperating. The search for Melody began on Tuesday after a school administrator called the sheriff's department to report a prolonged absence. At that point, investigators said she hadn't been seen in a year, and her mom was not giving a clear explanation to where she was. Today, the sheriff's department said they've now confirmed a sighting of the little girl back in August, but still, they have not found her. LA County has agreed to a second settlement in the growing childhood sex abuse scandal at the hand of county workers. The proposed settlement would pay out $828 million in 400 cases. That's on top of the $4 billion already agreed upon back in April for more than 11,000 cases. County officials say in light of recent allegations that some claims were fraudulent, every individual case will be thoroughly vetted before money is handed over. The latest settlement needs to be approved by the Board of Supervisors. LA County is still facing roughly 2,500 more abuse cases. U.S. forces once again target an alleged drug boat off the coast of Venezuela. The deadly strike and how Venezuela is reacting. Plus, a battle over books in the children's library. Restrictions were lifted, so why can't kids access the books?
There's going to be pressure, no doubt, on California.
And Florida at odds with California over truckers. What's behind this battle over trucking rules? And more from Shohei Ohtani's historic performance to help lead the Dodgers back to the World Series.
Boom! My prize picks line up.
in part because of his alleged ties to drug trafficking. New images show the B-52 bombers that flew near Venezuela Wednesday, and CBS News has learned that for a sixth time since September, the U.S. military struck a vessel in the Caribbean Thursday night. This time, what Trump called a submarine.
Just so you understand, this was not an innocent group of people. I don't know too many people that have submarines. And that was an attack on a drug-carrying, loaded-up submarine.
Unlike previous strikes, which killed everyone on board, 2 individuals survived the Thursday attack and are now being held on one of 8 Navy warships in the region, part of a large military footprint that includes 10,000 troops. Holding the 2 men presents legal challenges for the administration, according to former State Department lawyer Brian Finucane, who served under Presidents Trump and Biden.
The Trump administration is engaged in a make-believe armed conflict and has used that make-believe armed conflict as a basis to kill people. And the question is now whether it will use that make-believe armed conflict as a basis to also detain people.
Meanwhile, here in Washington, a bipartisan group of senators on Friday announced plans to try to force a vote that would require congressional authorization of future strikes near Venezuela. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Washington.
A new development in an ongoing censorship battle at Huntington Beach Library. It's a story our Michelle Gili has been following now for 2 years. A judge ordering books that had been removed to a youth-restricted section to be returned to their original spots. Our Michelle Gili tells us why that may be easier said than done.
Books for kids, including The Care and Keeping of You by American Girl Library, Will Puberty Last My Whole Life, and It's Perfectly Normal, should have been moved from a restricted area and returned to the children's section of the Huntington Beach Library last week, according to a judge's order. The books, however, are still sitting on a shelf on the 4th floor labeled Youth Restricted Books after the City Council directed librarians in 2023 to move materials with, quote, sexual content.
The instructions we expect the city to follow are returning the books to the children's section, taking down the signs about restricted books, establishing the teen section, and making sure that employees are protected from any pushback from the city council.
Erin Spivey, who left her job as a city librarian, is one of the people who sued Huntington Beach over books being moved. She won. The city filed an objection to the judge's order to move the books. Last year, California passed the Freedom to Read Act, prohibiting the removal of public library books from shelves based solely on their content. Huntington Beach's Susie and Tom Davidson consider themselves to be conservative and are against kids having access to sexual material, yet they want the city to comply with the judge's order.
I just think that they kind of jumped the gun on all the restrictions, and now they're finding out that it's really not working. But they should be listening to the government and say, let's get it back in there.
Well, if the judge said put them back, they should be put back. I mean, it should all be in an age-appropriate section.
I reached out to the city council. The city plans to discuss the issue in closed session soon and can't comment at this time. In Huntington Beach, Michelle Gili, CBS LA.
Let's go to some breaking news right now. Celebrations getting a bit rowdy in East LA after the Dodgers win and as they head to the World Series. Let's go up to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal over the scene. Des?
Well, Juan, it just kind of seemed like a matter of time here off of Atlantic and Olympic Boulevard, where a lot of people are beginning to not only gather, but we've seen quite a few burnouts, some donuts taking place here in the intersection, people stopping the intersection, doing lots of illegal U-turns, so lots of smoke, lots of fireworks beginning to go off as well. A pretty nice classic car coming out there right now as I double in. It's a real cherry there. You got this guy on the unicycle with the waving his flag out there. He was actually out there kind of doing donuts with one of the cars out there just a couple of moments ago. So more and more people continuing to gather. All of the authorities are one major street up at Atlantic and Whittier, and we'll see how much longer they tolerate this. Juan, back to you now in the studio.
Yeah, authorities can't be everywhere. All right, thank you, Desmond. Well, the Dodgers sweep the Brewers and are going back to the World Series. Let's go to Jamie Mongeau now. She's here with highlights. And Jamie, what can you say? It was all about Shohei tonight.
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to dance about it, Juan. I am just so excited for this team. It was an all-time game for Shohei Ohtani on the big stage as a pitcher and as a hitter. So let's check out the highlights. So Shohei Ohtani, both the starting pitcher and the leadoff, 169 feet. You know it's good when Freddie Freeman cannot believe it. And then he backed it up with the pitching on the mound. 6+ innings. He allowed just 2 hits. He struck out 10. He walked.
You know, probably the greatest postseason performance of all time. And there's been a lot of postseason games, and there's a reason why he's the greatest player on the planet. You know, what he did on the mound, what he did at the bat, he created a lot of memories for a lot of people.
All right, so the party is on at Dodger Stadium. Jim Hill is there for all of the fun. How's it going out there, Jim?
Oh, there's a lot of fun that's still going on in that clubhouse, that is for sure. But when you think about it, for the 5th time in 9 years, the Dodgers indeed are going back to the Fall Classic, the World Series. And when you think about it, it's going to be a lot of fun for the Dodgers themselves, sure, but for all the fans that come into the stands.
Right now I'm excited, but I know we got work to do, so I don't want to get too excited. I got to make sure we focus on the task at hand, and that's winning the World Series.
Isn't this incredible? It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, just so thankful to get to be a part of another one, and it's just a great, really special group of guys, and it's just you know, it's hard to put it into words what it means to get to have one more series, you know. So I'm excited about it.
This is what it's all about right here. This is just the beginning of what's to come. Yeah, celebration. We started almost 3 weeks ago when we won the division in Arizona. I feel like it's a special moment to be here with the boys celebrating this moment. I know this is not the final result, but being back in the World Series is an amazing accomplishment, and we can really take it for granted. If it's like this now, what in the heck is it going to be like when you win the whole thing?
Let's win the next one first. Thank you.
And Jamie, I got to tell you something. The most important item now in that clubhouse, after all that they've gone through and what they're going through, these, my dear, these goggles. They'll keep you from going back to the doctor, that's for sure. But until then, the Dodgers are just absolutely incredible, and we'll have more on them coming up for you a little bit later on. Back to you in the studio now.
Oh, great stuff, Jim. Yes, those goggles are necessary, and be sure to send the dry cleaning bill to the Dodgers. All right, so the World Series starts a week from today, where the boys in blue will face either the Seattle Mariners or the Toronto Blue Jays. Either way, it's going to be good. Back to you, Juan.
A Saturday filled with Southern California soul food and some great music. The annual Taste of Soul Family Festival is less than a few hours away, and our Amanda Starantino has a preview of the fun and the festivities.
We are in the Crenshaw District for Taste of Soul. It starts tomorrow at 10 a.m., but today we get a sneak peek and a little taste of what's to come for all of you. K. Michelle's Catering right here. Katrina Michelle, the creator behind all of this. This is now your 4th year back at Taste of Soul. What brings you back every year?
Every year is the people.
Yeah. Because your food is made with
love.
Love that. Okay, take a look at this spread she has here. You guys, it smells so delicious. Tell us what you got.
So today we have deconstructed baked potatoes. We're going to do a loaded potato. We have with shrimp today. You've got cheese, you've got shrimp, and all of the toppings, bacon bits, everything that you would get in a baked potato. It's going to be in a bowl tomorrow. We're doing baked potato bowls. We're also doing tacos, our famous tacos. We're going to have our flavored lemonades, mango, peach, dragon fruit. You're going to need that to wash all of this down. We're also doing our honey butter cornbread. We're doing oysters. We're doing lamb chops. It's going to be delicious.
Okay, and you have Daryl over here.
Yes.
What are you cooking up, Daryl?
How you doing today?
Let's see.
We got a good surprise for you.
Look at this.
Sparkle,
look at that. Wow. All right, what do we have?
We have the grilled oysters with shrimp, crab, Parmesan cheese, and spinach on it.
Let it melt.
Yes, let it melt.
Those are a ton of flavors for an oyster.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so how did you guys come up with this mix here?
We came up with everything that everybody would love. Definitely comfort food. Who doesn't want a great baked potato loaded down with all of your favorite meat toppings? And lamb chops and oysters, it's just so upscale. You don't get it everywhere.
It's kind of bougie.
Yes, it is kind of bougie, and we're looking forward to all those bougie people coming to enjoy it.
And you do pretty much all events, right?
We do all events. We primarily focus on our catering events. We do a lot of corporate. We do birthday parties. We do repasses. We do anything and everything. If you want us, give us a call. We'll be there.
Love it. All right, you can see Katrina and K. Michelle's catering at Taste of Soul starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. There's also going to be free shuttles to get here because I know parking is tricky. They're going to be picking up at local schools and churches nearby. We have all that information on our website. And we hope to see you here, too. CBS LA will be here for Taste of Soul, so come join us and eat with us. I'm going to name one of these now.
I'm going to give you one.
Okay, yum. All right, guys.
All right.
At that, we're going to leave it back to you guys. Okay, I need a...
For more on all the fun, flavor, and music at Taste of Soul, head to cbsla.com. The annual celebration is tomorrow. Make sure to come by and say hi at the CBS LA booth. We'll be there all day long, and we'll be broadcasting live starting at 9 a.m. on KCAL 9 right here. Florida is taking on California over truckers. What's behind this battle over trucking rules? That's next here at 9.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Manscaped has always had tools for your privates, but now they've got tools for your publics. With a full lineup of face tools, you can send face pics instead.
At TrueWork, we know everything you earn comes from what you build. What you wear must stand up to the job, not slow you down. We design performance workwear, built to move, built to last, built to perform. Advanced fabrics, elevated function, engineered for shifting weather and real-world demands. We test, we listen, we refine, until it works for you like it should. Built like it matters, because it does. TrueWork, performance workwear.
When your money is spread across multiple accounts, it's hard to see your full financial picture. You can count on Credit Karma to bring it all together. Because when you connect your accounts, you'll reveal new ways to save more, improve spending habits, and pay down debt with extra funds. The more you connect, the more we show you how to grow your money. Download Intuit Credit Karma to get started.
Your glasses can change the way you see the world. They can be easygoing, bookish, or simply striking. Find your perfect pair at Warby Parker. Or maybe your perspective is elevated, well-rounded, sleek, and crystal clear. Find your perfect pair at Warby Parker, starting at $95, including prescription lenses.
Pluto TV is your home for premium Black entertainment.
You bring it on!
Check out the Black Collective and stream 19 live channels of your favorite Black entertainment. All streaming free. Period. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
We've all heard about speed traps and aggressive ticketing in certain cities or towns, but does it really happen? Are some police agencies targeting drivers, and are they doing it to bring revenue into the city? Senior investigative reporter Ross Palumbo dug into the data, and tonight, for the first time, has some definitive answers. Ross.
Well, Juan, we looked at 10 years of ticket data and saw how much money each city makes. We actually tracked 184 Southern California cities in all, and take a look at this. We looked at every city from Ventura County to LA County to Riverside County to San Bernardino County, even over here in the south to Orange County. And this, what you're seeing on the map here, this is just a tiny, tiny sample of what we found. Tonight, we're going to reveal the city that came in at number 1. It's one of our smallest, just 2 square miles big, a small town making the biggest portion of ticket money.
Nobody likes getting a ticket, nobody likes getting in an accident.
From Los Angeles
Typically, they don't want to see me.
To Los Alamitos, hundreds of officers, millions of tickets, written and ripped and reeling in $2.4 billion across Southern California.
It's not about tickets.
Officers say it's just about safety.
It's always about safety, and that is our mission.
But some suspect it's really about racing up revenue.
They set it up for that.
Is that disappointing? Yeah, it sucks.
Well, tonight we're going to reveal that city and all the 184 cities so you can see where yours ranks. And there are some big surprises we're going to show you tonight, Juan, about those numbers and how many people are affected.
So once you know your city's rank, what can you do, Ross?
Well, actually, that's a surprise that we have for you tonight as well. Police are going to tell you what you can do if you live in one of these cities where they get ticketed so much.
We often hear about quotas, and it sounds like we might be seeing that.
We are going to dispel that myth tonight.
Quotas or not. All right. We'll see you later, Ross. Thank you.
Of course.
The state of California is at odds with the state of Florida over truck driving rules. The issue here, undocumented immigrants getting commercial driver's licenses. CBS Sacramento's Bradley Halbieb reports Florida Attorney General says California's system is putting people in danger even outside the state.
Florida clashing again with California, this time over what Attorney General James Othmeyer calls dangerous practices in issuing commercial driver's licenses. On Thursday, Othmeyer announced a federal lawsuit claiming states like California encourage illegal immigration and put the public at risk by giving licenses to people who can't read English or understand road signs. The case now heading to federal court.
There's going to be pressure, no doubt, on California. What processes are you using, right, to vet people that are getting licenses? I mean, I have no doubt there's going to be answering that has to be done by the DMV and by California, and that's, of course, going to be the pressure point from Florida.
The lawsuit comes as U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy withholds $40 million in federal funds, saying California isn't enforcing rules requiring truckers to speak and understand English. Federal officials gave the state 30 days to comply, warning it could lose that funding. And so far, they say California is the only state refusing to do so.
It's not that uncommon for the federal government to withhold funds to a state as a pressure point to try to get them to yield to something that the federal government thinks is important policy-wise, not only for that state, but for the whole nation.
All of this stems from a deadly crash in Florida involving a truck driver from India who made an illegal U-turn. Investigators say Harjinder Singh should have never been given a commercial driver's license based on his English skills and immigration status.
Well, Brady goes on to say the California AG's office says they're reviewing the filing and will respond appropriately in court. Now to this, drone footage captured the devastation in Alaska after Typhoon Halong. Days after it hit, several people are remaining missing. One person has died. State officials say more than 1,800 Alaskans from 49 different communities had to evacuate. The cost of all the damage still has not been assessed. Beautiful weekend weather here for us. Meteorologist Danny Roberti is tracking warmer conditions from the weather sphere. Danny.
Yes, Juan. I think we have the best weather in America going into this upcoming weekend. So beautiful. We're looking at 80s. We're looking at sunshine. It's going to be so nice to get outside. Let's jump right to your highs tomorrow. It's actually going to feel a little bit warmer in some areas. 84 in Riverside. Look at Santa Monica. We're looking at those mid to upper 70s and upper 70s in the high deserts. This is a winning weekend here in Southern California, and we love having reasons to celebrate. We get to celebrate our Dodgers, and we get to celebrate our beautiful weekend. And the reason this is probably going to feel a little bit warm this weekend is because it's kind of a shock to the system. This last Tuesday, we had the storms. We had temperatures in the lower 60s in Burbank. By tomorrow, it is going to feel 25 degrees warmer in the San Fernando Valley. So let me walk you through what we're tracking. So that stronger offshore flow today warmed us up, and that's going to continue to do the trick going into tomorrow. Temperatures above average. Both weekend days will be mostly sunny and warm for October. And by Monday, this is when we feel and see changes. The low clouds are back, and we're also going to get that stronger onshore flow, which is going to make things feel just a little bit cooler out there. Fontana, mid 80s going into this upcoming weekend. We'll see chilly mornings in the 50s with high temperatures making their way into the 80s once we get to the afternoon. So we're looking at 86 in San Bernardino, 83 in downtown Los Angeles, mid 80s in the valleys, 83 in Santa Clarita. Boca Raton, and 70s over at our beaches. How beautiful, you guys. And look at Los Angeles and Orange counties. This weekend, we roll into the low 80s, and then we start to drop early next week. By Tuesday, lower 70s in store for us, so still super pleasant, but cooler than this upcoming weekend. Valleys will be in the upper 80s, dropping into the lower 80s by the time we get to Tuesday. Let's check in on the Inland Empire. Mid 80s for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then 70s are back Tuesday, Wednesday. High deserts, we'll see mostly 70s, 60s in the mountains, and Juan, we've got 70s at the beaches, so looking good.
No matter where you are, it looks pretty good.
Exactly.
Danny, thanks. Tucked away in a quiet neighborhood off the 110 freeway stands a home that looks like no other. In tonight's Look at This, our Desmond Shaw is over the house that's also connected to a world-famous musician.
Well, take a look at this incredible structure in Highland Park. This is the Abbey San Encino, and it's one of the quirkiest homes in Los Angeles and was all built by hand. It's all the work of a man named Clyde Brown and some of his friends and family. It took him roughly 14 years to finish after he set the first stones in 1915. He was a colorful and obviously passionate character, and he made his living in the printing business. He started when he was only 15 years old at newspapers in the Bay Area before moving to LA around 1903. According to PBS, shortly after marrying his second wife in 1907, the couple bought this land not far from the Arroyo Seco. He had been working for the Los Angeles Examiner, but quit to follow his dreams of creating his own fine printing studio. He laid out designs for his home and studio using picas, which is a unit of measurement used in typography, and he was enamored with the look of heavy stones, medieval castles, and California mission-style architecture, and you can see how he blended them together here, stone by stone. Some of the material he used to craft the structure came from the Arroyo Seco riverbed, and he got the heavy stones he found there to this site by building a narrow-gauge railway complete with a mining cart. He also scavenged a lot of other materials from various sites, bricks and granite blocks from abandoned buildings, railroad ties to make doors and window frames, bells for the inside chapel came from a nearby elementary school and an old fire engine, and metal ornamentation came from old cars. It all reminds me of Rubel Castle and the Watts Towers, which we've looked at before, but this handmade building precedes both of those by many decades. Clyde Brown passed away in 1942, leaving the home to his son Jack. After he returned from serving in World War II, he moved into the Abbey with his wife and 3 small children. One of them was named Jackson, and yep, it is none other than the world-renowned musician Jackson Browne. He moved here when he was only 3 years old, and he used a picture of his childhood home for the cover of his second album, For Every Man. The family still owns this incredible creation today, so you'll have to admire it from the street. But the family does reportedly open the home up for tours on occasion, which would just be so cool to see. Taking a look at the amazing Abbey San Encino from SkyCal, I'm Desmond Shaw.
Next on CBS LA at 10, we're going to have more on this. Rowdy celebrations after the Dodgers head to the World Series. Desmond Shaw is live in SkyCal. He'll bring us the very latest coming up in a live report. But next here at 9, making it easier for families struggling to expand, how the Trump administration is working to make in vitro fertilization more affordable. Also ahead at 10, a horrifying mix-up. A local family claims the wrong body was at a funeral home for the viewing. And a crush of students after an exciting-winning game, a set of bleachers collapses. And the perils of pickleball, the new warning from doctors about the sport everyone from kids to retirees seem to be playing these days.
I grew up on a farm and ranch in Nebraska, so I'm always cowgirling. You never want to pay more than you have to. I bet we save about $180 a month with Spectrum. It's always an adventure on the farm.
Real customers, real savings. To see how much you can save, visit spectrum.com/save.
Smoothies. This is the plan. Amazon ads. Ooh.
Carparel.
Hey, look, it's Gina.
Come through, come on through.
Come join the rodeo.
Well, congrats, sis. You won.
Gain the edge with Amazon ads.
The bloat, the fog, slow metabolism. Is this just how it is? I'm Dr. Sarah Rahal. As a double board certified physician, I can tell you, no, this isn't normal. It's your body stuck in defense mode. That's why I founded Armra, with over 400 bioactive nutrients that support your body's original blueprint. Experience less bloat, more clarity, natural energy that lasts. Trusted by over 1 million customers. Start your revival of health today.
Investing. You buy low, sell high, jump on that trend, ride the wave. Stop. That's not how investing works. You're not a child playing a game. This is grown-up business. The real thing. You know wealth isn't won in a bet. Luck is not a strategy, and success demands discipline. You're serious about investing, right?
At Great Wolf Lodge, there's excitement in every slide, adventures waiting to begin, and dance parties every night. So bring your pack together and fall savings are here. Book now and save up to 40%.
A child is a priceless gift, but there's a steep price for having a child through in vitro fertilization. CBS's Nikki Battiste shows us what the Trump administration is doing to make it affordable for families who can't handle the financial burden.
We're here today to announce a historic victory for American women, mothers, and families.
The Trump administration says it has negotiated an 84% discount for some medications needed for in vitro fertilization, or IVF.
EMD Serrano will list their fertility drugs online at trumprx.gov at very, very heavily reduced prices.
In the U.S., the average cost of IVF medications per cycle is about $5,000, but the average cost of the procedures add an additional $15,000 to $20,000 per cycle. For women over the age of 35, it can take an average of 3 cycles to have a baby and possibly total $75,000 or more. Less than half of Americans have insurance that covers any fertility treatments. Trump says he is taking steps to expand insurance coverage. In a statement, the American Society for Reproductive Medicine said, even with this crucial first step, affordability remains out of reach for too many. Nikki Battiste, CBS News.
Thanks for watching CBS LA at 9. CBS LA at 10 starts right now.
Ohtani is going to get MVP, and we are going to take it all.
World Series bound. Let's get this, Dodgers.
Yes, back-to-back to the World Series. That's us. Woo!
We love you, Dad. We love you, baby. We love you.
All right, let's go.
That's right. We love you. Tonight, all across Southern California, fans are celebrating. And this was a scene of the final out tonight at this boat in San Gabriel. Good evening, everyone. I'm Susie Sun.
And I'm Juan Fernandez, and this is CBS LA at 10 on KCAL 9. The Dodgers are going to the World Series for the second year in a row.
That's right. And Shohei Ohtani is going into the record books for what he pulled off tonight. We have special live coverage for you right now. CBS LA's Jamie Maggio is here to relive those moments with us. My goodness, Jamie.
How great is it to see all those smiling, happy faces, right? I just love it. Such a joyful night. The Dodgers are the first defending champions to go back to the World Series since the Phillies did it in 2009. So let's show you how they got it done in 4 games against the Brewers. Shohei Ohtani, both a starting pitcher and leadoff hitter tonight. All right, he's backed up by his hitting on the mound. 6+ innings, shutout innings that is. He allowed just 2 hits. He struck out 10. And all right, now Jim Hill is still wiping the champagne out of his eyes after hanging out in the clubhouse. Jim, what a night out there at the Ravine.
Oh, I tell you, talk about it. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a longer night for those people that were drinking all that beer and that champagne in the locker room. But what an excitement evening it was. That is for sure. And for the 5th time in 9 years, the Dodgers are being back to go back to the Fall Classic once again. And this time it's going to be another great show.
Just excitement. We got a lot more work to do, but this team has played amazing. We're all really close as a team, and we're all firing on all cylinders right now.
What's the best thing about your club?
just say that everybody pulls on one another. It's you know, we are a very tight group of guys, and you know, we are a brotherhood, and yeah, it's just a special group.
This celebration is unreal. This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, it goes without saying, we're witnessing history almost every night. With what Shohei did today, going back to the World Series, everything is special right now for various reasons, but I'm just glad to get to witness it.
Here we go again.
Yeah, that's what they pay us for. That's what we paid them for. They did a great job. Only 4 more wins to go.
It is really amazing when you talk about only 4 more wins to go, and that's exactly right. 4 more wins, and the Dodgers will have yet another World Series championship. Reporting live from Chavez Ravine, I'm Jim Hill. Back to you in the studio now.
All right, thank you, Jim. Now the Dodgers will await the winner of the ALCS, where the Seattle Mariners lead the Toronto Blue Jays 3-2. Game 1 of the World Series is scheduled to be next Friday.
Let's go.
Yeah. Back to you guys.
All right, Jamie, thank you so much. Well, the second the game ended, Dodgers fans let out a huge roar, as you can imagine. Everyone realizing they just witnessed history.
They sure did. We continue our coverage tonight with Lauren Posen, who spoke with fans streaming out of the top deck of the park.
Fans wanted to see a sweep tonight, and that's exactly what they got. Every play was magic. Let's go, Dodgers! With the clutch win over the Milwaukee Brewers tonight, LA is officially headed back to the World Series.
The game was excellent. I loved it.
It was incredible. It was wild. It was loud. And Shohei, 3 bombs, amazing.
For the fans, this team means more than just baseball. It carries a legacy that runs deep.
Oh, man, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts. He had a hell of a game, man. We are so blessed to be able to be a part of it. It was a great night.
And both the Dodgers and the fans know one thing. The work continues. The job isn't finished yet.
We just got to go, got to stay focused, do the job, take it 1 game at a time, and kick some butt, right?
The Dodgers are looking to become the first club to win consecutive World Series championships since the Yankees won 3 straight titles from 1998 to 2000, and you can bet we'll be right here cheering them on. Reporting from Dodger Stadium, Lauren Posen, CBS LA.
All right, Lauren, thank you. To breaking news now, SkyCal live over Whittier and Atlantic. This is in East LA, where fans have been known to pour out onto the streets to celebrate a Dodger playoff win.
So Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal over the scene right now. Desmond, what's it like out there right now?
It is total pandemonium here, Juan and Susie. It's actually Olympic and Atlantic. It's normally Whittier and Atlantic up to the north. It's kind of the epicenter of Dodger Mania for celebrations. But that's where all the authorities are, and they wanted to have all of this shut down. They have some LA County Sheriff's deputies out here in riot gear and a lot of street closures. Whittier Boulevard shut down for several miles, actually, east and west. So everyone just came 1 major block south down here, where we're seeing some crazy street takeovers. Check this thing out. It's a Cybertruck with a massive skeleton on top. That's a new one here. It just arrived on the scene a few moments ago. There's a little mini bike gang out there. Let's show you some video of the donuts that's been taking place. There was this big red pickup truck that was going crazy in the intersection. But then even crazier was this little dune buggy that nearly flipped over. It was spinning around so hard. Amazingly, no one's crashed or hit anyone out there. You know, part of the thing which I just don't understand with the street takeovers is these people want to get as dangerously close as possible. This is exactly what the authorities were hoping to prevent. And here's the thing, they're actually just right up here kind of witnessing all this right now. They moved all their vehicles up closer. They're kind of monitoring this. I don't know, just assessing things, trying to see how they're going to eventually handle this. Again, they did have all those deputies out there in riot gear. They were up here on Whittier Boulevard. It looks like I can't show them to you from this angle at the moment, but we'll see how much longer they continue to tolerate this before they kind of shoo everybody away from this part of East LA. Live at SkyCal overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Send it back to you now in the studio.
Yeah, let's just hope it doesn't keep escalating. Desmond, thank you. Keep us posted. Well, as you might imagine, fans couldn't wait to get their hands on champion merchandise, rushing to Dick's Sporting Goods tonight in Pasadena, already laying out the fresh NLCS swag, everything from T-shirts, pennants, chains, and more. Fans are just eager to rep the Dodger blue.
So I raced over as soon as we won.
Ran over here or what?
As soon as we got to the last out, we ran over here.
We didn't go this round, but we're trying to go to the World Series, and we'll definitely be back here when we do win the World Series. So I hope you're back interviewing me again with the World Series shirt.
Okay, we'll be looking for you. Dodgers National League champions set to return for another World Series very soon.
All right, so the Fall Classic, the first game of the World Series is Friday, next Friday, October 24th. Game 2 is Saturday. Game 3 will be Monday, October 27th. Game 4 Tuesday. Then, of course, if necessary, Game 5 Wednesday the 29th. Game 6 Friday, and on Halloween, Game 7. And Saturday, November 1st.
Waiting to see who they'll be playing. All right, here's something we don't hear about very often. A pursuit starting with a cell phone violation. SkyCal picked up this chase this afternoon in the Antelope Valley. Our assignment desk called the CHP to ask for more details. They say they don't know exactly what he was doing, but that his cell phone violation is usually due to a distracted driver who's not using that hands-free technology. The suspect was eventually taken into custody.
A former LAPD officer under arrest facing murder charges. Clifford Proctor was taken into custody at LAX after a year on the lam.
He's accused of killing a homeless man in Venice, and CBS LA's Zach Boetto joins us tonight with a story that's been playing out for over a decade now, Zach.
Yeah, hi Juan, hi Susie. You might remember this is one of several LAPD shootings that led to some public protests back in 2016. Now, as a result of a felony warrant filed by former DA George Gascon last year, current DA Nathan Hochman will have to decide if there's enough evidence to move forward with this case. Images seared into the memory of anyone who lived in Venice a decade ago. Former LAPD officer Clifford Proctor wrestling with and then shooting Brendan Glenn in the back twice. Glenn unarmed and homeless. Tonight, Proctor is under arrest after years on the run.
Well, I know the family now has hope.
James DeSimone has represented the victim's family since Proctor shot their loved one in 2015.
The hurt still continues. It'll never go away for him.
LAPD arrested Proctor at LAX Thursday on murder charges filed by former District Attorney George Gascon last year. Gascon's decision went against a 2018 decision by then District Attorney Jackie Lacey to not file charges against the former officer, who's been a free man since. Lacey explained her decision back then.
If you look very closely at the video, it appears that the officers were losing control of him. So in that situation, where you have guns readily available to a struggling suspect who is under the influence, belligerent, it is not unreasonable. It's not much of a leap to realize that the officer shot him because he believes that there was some threat of danger or harm.
The LAPD chief at the time, Charlie Beck, disagreed with Lacey and recommended charges be filed against the officer Proctor.
He unreasonably believed that his life was in danger and therefore he took a life.
So will current DA Nathan Hochman prosecute the case? We asked a retired 30-year LAPD detective for his take.
They're going to have to look at this case all over again, even though, he was arrested based on a current and active arrest warrant.
The DA's office tells us it is aware of former Officer Proctor's arrest, but it's unable to comment tonight. He's now sitting in jail on a $2 million bail. Susie, one, they have to have enough evidence to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt.
All right.
Susie?
Zach, thank you so much. Today, marking 2 years since 4 Pepperdine University students were killed in a devastating crash in Malibu. This evening, families and community members gathering at the scene of the crash to turn their immense loss into action and continued healing. Pepperdine seniors Neam Rolson, Peyton Stewart, Asha Weir, and Deslyn Williams were killed when a speeding car slammed into parked vehicles, sending them into the 4 victims standing on the roadside.
That night broke me. It left me with a kind of pain that I still carry every single day. But it also gave me a purpose. I made a promise on that road, a promise that I would never stop fighting for them.
Now, the driver is charged with 4 counts of murder and 4 counts of vehicular manslaughter. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges and is still awaiting trial.
Tonight, Susie, stunning new details on what happened to almost $26 million in taxpayer money that was supposed to be used to build new housing for the homeless. CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite shows us what we've uncovered in Thousand Oaks.
So earlier this week, you might remember the acting U.S. attorney for L.A. announced charges in connection with people allegedly defrauding the state's homeless funding programs. Well, a big part of that fraud investigation has to do with that abandoned motel just behind me. This shuttered, dilapidated motel in Thousand Oaks was supposed to be transformed into permanent housing for the homeless. It was part of Governor Newsom's signature program called Project Home Key, turning old motels across the state into supportive housing for the homeless. But this project, like many others, was never completed. So what happened? Where did the money go? U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley this week announced charges in connection with this project, claiming the funds were stolen.
Federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries. Our investigation has showed that at least $2.2 million was diverted to pay Mr. Holmes' American Express bill.
Stolen, the feds say, by Holmes to fund a lavish lifestyle. According to a civil complaint against Holmes, he spent $53,000 for VIP tickets to Coachella, $43,000 for a flight on a private jet, $111,000 on an Hermes crocodile bag,